The HuxWrx Flow Range 36 Ti. What's up everybody, Brian with First Shot Tactical, back with another video for you here today. Jumping right into the specs of this guy. Again, this is the HuxWrx Flow Range 36 Ti. This is one of the newer suppressors that came out in 2025 at SHOT Show. The other one they came out with was the HuxWrx Flow 9K Ti, which I have a whole other video on the review of this. So go check that out after this once you're done. For the naming convention, again, it's a HuxWrx Flow. Flow meaning there is no gas coming back into your setup or into your face, which is awesome. Range, I'm guessing it means the range of calibers that this thing can go on, which we'll discuss here in a sec. 36, that is the bore diameter, so that's what it's rated up to. And then TI stands for titanium. This is 3D printed out of titanium, so it is super lightweight. For the caliber rating on the suppressor, again, it's 36 rated. So anywhere from 9mm to 338 Lapua, this guy's gonna go on there. You could even put this on a 22 if you wanted as well. The suppressor is hub compatible, and in fact I have the Dead Air Xeno mount on this now, and that's how I attached it to this PSA crank. But from the factory it will ship with the HuxWrx mount, which is this guy here, and this mount will go on any of the HuxWrx muzzle devices like this muzzle brake they have here. You'll simply drop it on with your suppressor and then it'll just thread right on. That same muzzle device is the one that works with the HuxWrx Flow 762 Ti or the 556 one as well. As far as the weight on this, with the provided mount that comes out of the box, it comes in at 12 ounces, which is pretty good. And just to compare here, we'll see what it is with the Dead Air Xeno. Putting this on the scale, it comes in less. It comes in at 10.7 ounces with the Xeno mount. All right, that's great. As a quick comparison, the HuxWrx Flow 762 Ti, that comes in at 11.8 ounces. So it's legit 1 ounce lighter than the Flow 762. Again, like when you hold this, it's stupid lightweight. Next up, let's head out to the range and let's test this guy on a bunch of different setups that I have and see how it sounds. Let's get cranky. And a mag dump. Aero precision 10.5. And a mag dump. Palmetto State Armory 16-inch budget build. And a mag dump. 14.5 Brownells BRN4. And a mag dump. Brownells Daniel Defense 14.5 upper. And a mag dump. To compare, this is the Brownells Daniel Defense 14.5 upper, and we have the Dead Air Sandman X on it. Sandman X. HuxWrx Flow Range 36 Ti. And now we switch the hub to Trilug, so that way we can run it on this PTR 9CT, which is also a MP5. 150 grain subsonic 9mm. And now for a mag dump. As far as sound comparison, it's definitely louder than a dedicated 9mm can. For example, the HuxWrx Flow 9K Ti is definitely quieter, but that's the trade-off you get, is you can run this on a bunch of different calibers, but the sound reduction isn't the best across all of them. Either way, still very quiet. And now we put the booster assembly on, and we're gonna run it on this HuxWrx Rex 01 chambered in 9mm. Running 150 grain subsonic ammo. Let's take the ears out. Five supersonic, and then we're gonna do 5 subsonic. That's quiet. But in person, those subsonic are a lot quieter. While I was at the range, I was able to compare this to some other suppressors, including the Dead Air Sandman X, which is a 762 rated suppressor, the HuxWrx Flow 762 Ti, and then the Range 36. When running this on a 5.56 gun, the Flow 762 and Sandman X were definitely quieter, and that does make sense because this has a larger bore diameter. It's rated for a higher caliber, so these ones that are closer to that 5.56 diameter are gonna be quieter. That being said though, this thing still got rid of all the gas that would come back into your gun in your face and still had a pretty solid sound reduction. My favorite setup at the range to run it on was this guy here, which is the PSA Crink in 5.56. And I think this would be a great AK suppressor for anyone out there. And reason being is the bore diameter is a little bit bigger than a 7.62 or 5.56 bullet, which is typically what you want on an AK because you don't always get concentric threads on the end. So we want a little bit more wiggle room so that way we don't get a baffle strike. So with the larger bore diameter on an AK setup like this, I think it's great. And the color scheme matches, come on. Another thing to note, at the range, I was able to swap the hub on this, or the mount. I changed it from Xeno and then put a pistol booster assembly, the one that came actually with the HuxWrx Flow 9K Ti. With that on this, you could run it on a pistol, but then also you could swap that mount to the tri-lug mount like I had, and then you could run it on something like a PCC or an MP5. So again, going back to the name of this, it's the HuxWrx Flow Range 36. I believe it's called Range because you can put this on any setup you have. 22, 9mm, 5.56, 7.62, 338 Lapua. To mount it on those, you have the hub compatibility, tri-lug, booster assembly, Xeno mount, the HuxWrx mount, and the suppressor is gonna work on all those setups, hence giving you a wide range to use this on. Now, the only downside to that though, and just like all the other 36 suppressors on the market, is while it can suppress everything, it does a good job of suppressing everything, but does not do an excellent job suppressing one of those. Well, actually I stand corrected. On the 338 Lapua, it would probably do an excellent job. Sadly, I don't have 338 Lapua though. But for, using this on a 9mm setup, the HuxWrx Flow 9K Ti was definitely quieter when comparing these two on something like an MP5. The pistol, I couldn't really tell a difference though, but the PCCs I could. For the 5.56 guns, again, comparing it to the Flow 762, the Sandman X, you can definitely tell this guy is louder. So that's just the trade-off you get with these universal type suppressors. So all that being said, should you pick one of these up, or who should be picking one of these up? If you're a first-time suppressor buyer and you want a suppressor that can go on your AR-15, on your Glock 19 threaded barrel, your AR-9 you have, or anything else, then this is definitely a great suppressor to consider. The other reason why this is better than other suppressors on the market that are universal or 36mm is because this has HuxWrx flow-through technology. Guys, I'm gonna be very honest, with modern technology, it is very tough to go back to a standard baffle suppressor. Without the rifle being tuned, you just get so much gas in your face and in your setup. And with the HuxWrx though, you're not gonna have any of those issues. Also, in addition to that, whatever AR you have, you don't need to change the buffer, you don't need an adjustable gas block. You're gonna be able to put it on whatever you have and it's just gonna run. So if that's what you're looking for, a universal suppressor or your first suppressor that can go on a bunch of different things, then this is gonna be a solid choice that you're gonna be happy with. But let's not kid ourselves. You're gonna buy this and then want 5 other suppressors, just like everybody else does. Oh, I'm only gonna buy one suppressor, that's it. Yeah, okay. But let me know in the comments, what do you think of this? Or is there a different suppressor you're currently looking at picking up? Until next time, have fun shooting. We'll see you soon.